Previously on Sailing Jibsea, we embarked on a longer than expected sail from the Bahamas.
Back in the States!
Now it's time for errands to be run and tackling of an oil leak in a very tricky spot.
We definitely picked the wrong time to arrive in Florida because it is so hot here. It's been like 44 to 47 degrees Celsius with the humidity, which is like, I think 117 Fahrenheit, so it's been insane. Anyway, we have a lot of errands to do, and first thing we did was deal with our starter battery. So if you recall, back when we were in Conception Island, we had mentioned that our battery was fully dead. So we had friends drive us to pick up the starter battery, which is really nice, but we didn't have the old battery with us to bring back for the core charge. So we're gonna hop on our new e-bikes that we got from Heybike, and we're going to take the trip over there. We have to transport our bikes one at a time, even though they're foldable. We have fit 2 of these bikes in the dinghy at once with very limited space for us to sit just because our dinghy is so small. But today we have the battery to bring back, and we also have a lot of trash. So we've already taken one bike to shore, and we're bringing the next one over, and then we're gonna be on our way over to the store. Barnacles. Good thing you're so strong. We've got the little screen here. We've got our gears, 7 gears. The throttle. All the controls. Even a little signal flicker thing. And this is where the battery is gonna go. Travis is just setting up the other one. Like, we had electric scooters, which were really fun for zipping around, but there's no way we're carrying this big battery to the store, you know, anything really on a scooter, so this is really gonna help us out. It'll be your turn to carry the battery this time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like deja vu because last time we were in Fort Lauderdale, we also got our starter battery here, and I had to lug it on my little folding bike, and I had so much trouble with it. But now we both got bikes with a little area to strap it on to.
Yeah, should be fun.
But isn't that funny though? Like, this is exactly what we did the last time we were here.
Deja vu times. Yeah, they're a good look, and they got some good components on it, like hydraulic disc brakes. You got adjustable suspension that's not super junk, it's quite nice.
And Travis knows his bikes.
I know my bikes.
The Ranger S is made with a high-strength aluminum alloy frame, making it secure and stable, which is what we want, especially for transporting heavy loads. The rear rack holds up to 150 pounds, so we're good to transport this battery.
Pedal, like a bike.
Yeah, these will get us there quick. I have it on pedal assist level 5, that's why it's going so fast.
Yeah.
Adjust that. Okay, there. I'm ready. You lead the way.
There's also a Heybike app you can download for features like anti-theft, personalized settings, auto lock, unlock, and more.
This makes our bike ride so much easier. Like, when I was going uphill on the bridge, pedal assist really helped because it would kick in and give me the extra boost. When I was cycling really hard against the wind, it was nice to have a little bit of an assistance, especially in this heat. When you're coasting, you can just put your thumb on the throttle and just let the bike do the work for you. We are here. That was so fast.
Yeah. He's definitely make sharp work of it.
That was fast. We got our core charge back, and then now, since we have these bikes and we can go so much further, we're gonna hit up somewhere Travis is super looking forward to.
We're gonna try to get to Chick-fil-A. It's only
No, it's
not
in there.
Chick-fil-A. Raising Cane's.
Okay. How badly do you want to go if you don't even know where we're going?
Heybike's Ranger S foldable e-bike has a 750 watt motor with 9 levels of pedal assist, reaching speeds up to 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers an hour, so we're getting places real quick. Except for holdups at the bridges, we can't get away from those on the water or on land. For more details on the Ranger S and for how you can pick up one of your own, we'll leave our exclusive links in the description box below the video. Use our coupon code SJ100 at checkout for $100 off your purchase of $900 or more.
Yes.
We rode like 25 miles.
Probably more than 25 miles.
Well, that was decent. Now we're pooped, we're sweaty. Bonus, it's high tide, like the highest tide right now, so it'll be a little bit easier to put them into the dinghy. I mean, if we had a marina slip, it'd be so easy to just ride off the dock, but you know.
If you wonder why I'm panting and sweaty, it died a kilometer ago. So I had to pedal for the last mile.
I still had 3 out of 5 bars on mine, but that's because I wasn't carrying the heavy battery and then I weigh less than Travis, so I think the bike ride with the, how heavy was that battery?
Probably 30-40 pounds.
An extra 30-40 pounds. Yeah, his died.
They're great when they're electric, but when they're not electric,
They're
it's
heavy?
a workout for sure.
Yeah.
But at least it's all flat here, so this is perfect area for it.
Perfect.
Foldable is the only way to go for us, especially living in a small space and for ease of carrying and storage.
And I do this.
So if they stay together when we lift it into the dinghy.
Yeah.
Are we gonna go 2 or 1?
I'll go 1.
1 at a time? Just because we're so close to the boat. Gypsy's right back there.
Because we're at anchor, it takes a little extra muscle to lift the bikes on and off of Jibsea, but the batteries are removable, so it makes it lighter and easier. Although our timing for getting to Florida during a heat wave wasn't the best, being there for the air show was.
Mac is now setting up for the High Alpha Pass. This maneuver will showcase the incredible slow speed handling characteristics of the Rhino. Mac will abruptly pull away from the crowd, showcasing the Rhino's ability to turn on a dime.
That's a World War II plane up there alongside the jet.
Head-on pass.
We'd never seen anything quite like this being Canadian, and it was a real fun watch, especially seeing and hearing the Thunderbirds almost break the sound barrier. We couldn't make it back to the States without having one fun boat project on the to-do list.
Welcome back to my space. The only space I can get away from Steph for a while.
Hey.
Just kidding. What we've got in Jibsea here is a YANMAR 4JH TE, which is a turbo, has accumulated a small leak. And I can see where it's coming from. It's coming from one of the O-rings on the throttle lever, but it's on this side of the motor, and it's a very difficult spot to get to. If you have a Hunter Passage 42, if you don't have a generator, this bar right here on this side you can remove, and that allows you to get a bit more access on this side. And I'm sure I'll be removing a few more pieces, maybe the fuel filter, just to gain a bit more access. There's a few bolts that look like they shouldn't be a problem to get to. There only looks to be one bolt that's going to be a real pain in the ass. So let's dive into it and see if I can do this. Get my hands in here, so crazy. All right, that's the kill switch. That kills the engine. So right in between here, there's an O-ring, and that O-ring is leaking. And then it drips down to the bottom, and it drips down here, and then down, and then under the engine. It's a real pain in the butt. So I'm gonna try to take this off. So what I like to do is look at every bolt I need to pull off, and I try to figure out which one's gonna be the hardest one to pull off, and that's the one I'm gonna start with. Because if I can't get that off, then I really have to think about, you know, what tool I've got to use. Do I need to get a different tool? And just like think about how it's gonna work. And then I go from there. Then I go to the second hardest looking one, and then third, you know, so forth. But whoever put on this bottom port side bolt on this governor probably didn't like mechanics. It's going to be the end of my mental stability for the day, I think. Just by looking at it, like it doesn't even look like the bolt will come straight out. It'll just hit the block. So yeah, that's why I'm going to try that one first. Hopefully I don't have to cut anything or destroy anything. But I think I have to take off the oil pressure sender, and then I got to pull off the throttle cable, the kill lever cable, and then I'll just be working off the bolts from there. Yes!
Happy days!
There it is. There it is. This was not easy. You can see that I had to grind down the socket just to squeeze it in. And the little flange on it barely wanted to pass the block, but once you get it out just enough, you can actually wiggle it. I don't know how I'm gonna get it back in, but it's out. And I can get all of the other bolts fairly easy access, so I'm not worried about that. I stared at that for... How long do you think I stared at that for, Steph?
A whole, like, battery and mic battery ago. Probably like 4 hours.
Yeah. Probably took me 3-4 hours of just staring at that, trying to figure out how that was going to work. Because I didn't want to go for it and try to break it free if I couldn't unbreak it free, if that makes sense. And then looking at everything else, I thought I was going to have to pull off the fuel injection pump, which would have been a nightmare, because that is all based on alignment and stuff, and I just didn't want to touch that. But the fact I got this one off, oh, the hugest relief. To give you an idea, the bolt I was talking about is back. Can't even get to it from here. But it is the bottom one. That's right down there somewhere. It's so in there you physically can't see it. As you can tell how I'm rammed in here. I think you can kind of see it from the top here actually. There, I think you can see it. So... Nope, you can't see it. What I'm trying to say is that was incredibly hard, but it is doable. I'm sweaty, uncomfortable. All right, let's pull this other bit off. Cross my fingers. I can pull it out. Although I don't know how much oil is in this thing, I probably should have drained all of the oil first. So I'm hoping that doesn't cause a huge, ugly mess. But I just kind of was looking at it for a while, and then I was going to drain the oil, but then anyways, gung ho. I would recommend draining the oil first. And yeah, anyways. I look beat up, worn, I know I do, but we're getting somewhere. Sweaty. Side note, each of the bolts are different lengths. So this is what I do. So I just kind of make a basic drawing, so that's the top bolt, and then you just kind of go around. So when you put it back, you know where each bolt went into the unit. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there forever unscrewing in a bolt going, that doesn't fit right, screw that, it'll take forever. And usually, for me to notice this, I'll take out 2 bolts and I'll know where they came from. And if they are the exact same size, I'll take out a third. If it's the exact same size, then I'll just keep looking. But if I pull out 2 bolts and they're both different sizes, I'll do this drawing so you don't get lost. All right, next, once you pop that open, do it gently so you don't break the seal, because I don't have a new gasket. Silly me, they don't make them anymore. There is a pin right here. You gotta pull that and then the whole unit should come off. Inside note, you definitely should have drained the oil first. So there's a little pin like that. put that somewhere you're not gonna lose it. And according to the manual, I shouldn't hear any falling parts. Bingo! There it is. She is out. So there is two O-rings, but there's an O-ring right here, an O-ring here, there's an O-ring here, and an O-ring in here. So this is the throttle, this is the stop lever, and this is just a through pin that holds the internal mechanism all in place. So what you're supposed to do is you got to pull the snap rings on both sides, and then you push the pin one way and you pull out the O-ring, and then you can slide the rest all the way back this way and get the other O-ring. Alright, so our camera died, but no worries. It's the exact same way to reassemble it as it was to disassemble it. I replaced all the O-rings, and hopefully that does it.